This is Sebi Says with my second episode. I'm so excited to have Jen Robles, the owner of 1581 Salon and Barbershop. Holler at your boy. You guys have a shitload of services that you guys provide.
Yes, we do. So there's men's, there's women's. Women's has a lot of services. There's braids. There's haircut, color, keratin treatment. There's eyebrows, facials, eyelashes, anything beauty. We have provided that in the shop.
Is that typical for salons to have all of that shit?
If they could find it, yes. Yeah. But I do believe
when you say find it, is it like the person?
If they want to, if the owners are open to provide that, then yes. But why not? That's like more business, you know?
This is why I fuck with you, because I feel like you always try to you milk what you have, right? It's like you have the ability to offer it, you have the building.
Yes.
Why not?
Why not
offer more? Exactly.
It's a really big space. I feel like today I'm still very open to see what else I can do in it.
Could you believe that?
I want to do that. I'm just like staring at you.
Like for me to like try to stay about something the same way, I'm like, just stare at me. Look at me. I don't want to focus. Oh fuck. But that okay. But the point that that transitions me to a great question, right? Like the fact that in this business you also give people the opportunity to start.
Yes.
Like, the barbers that you have there, right? They need an opportunity. People who have not maybe been in a studio before. Have you brought in people who work there who it's like their first time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. There's been a few barbers in there that started from just their house or just not even working anywhere, just kind of threw them in there. And it's crazy because they are now their own little tribe doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And it makes me so proud, you know, to see like, oh, they started there and now they're like, you know, going off on their own, starting their journey. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's honestly amazing because that's like the catalyst to it taking off and going into different avenues, like, right, of success.
Yes.
And then, so that also then brings me to my next point. So you started, right, like you're a business owner now, right? So like you gave these people opportunities. Somebody must have given you an opportunity.
Yes. Yes.
Holler at your boy.
Okay, so you want to start off where this came from?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's start off with like, when you were younger, did you know that you wanted to do
Yes, when I was young, I was probably
3.
Yeah, you could say 3.
Damn near,
you
like,
could say 3 when my brain started developing.
Yeah.
I feel like my brain just developed into having and finding an interest in doing hair. I feel like ever since I was little, when I was a kid, all I remember was playing with my Barbies, okay? And my Barbies, I would always have like this thing where I want to play with their hair.
Yeah, right.
Fix their hair.
Right.
So I would always get Barbies for my birthdays, Christmas, because like I felt like my whole family, aunties, uncles, everyone knew I wanted Barbie playing with their hair.
Shut up, that's so funny.
Yes. So I would get that, and I just remember always like either braiding it. I had this African American Baywatch Barbie, and I would braid her hair into singles. You know, singles are singles are individual pieces and braiding them. There's probably I probably did 8 pieces.
I love that.
8 pieces on her.
What?
Yes. I was braiding.
You're tiny little.
You know, and I'm like 7, 8 years old doing this, and so. You know, and then one day I just got hold of the scissors.
So I started with braiding, and then you're like, oh shit, hold on, this is a blank canvas damn near.
So kitchen scissors, chop. And I had these, somebody, you know, I grew up in a house of girls, 3 sisters, there's 4 of us, I'm the youngest, my mom, and then my dad. So there was, there was like curling irons there and stuff like that. So there was this really, really tiny curling iron, like a half inch.
What?
It's very small.
Yeah, like a little, like what?
After I would cut the hair, like maybe like my finger size, like this how skinny it was. And so after I cut the hair off, right, I would curl it. And it would just look fabulous. Like, wow, I did layers on this Barbie.
What?
Yeah, so I started with that. And then, you know, at family functions, my aunties would all, like, I guess my mom would, like, tell them how I cut my Barbie's hair and all of this things. You know what else I used to do to my Barbie?
What's that?
I used to put acetone on their eyebrows and their lips to remove it. And I had these washable markers. And I would put lip liner, eyebrows. It looks like a chola.
This is why I love my show, bro. I love my show because I get to really like discover the beginning. Like, who would have thought it was fucking Barbies? Like, oh god. And I was worried about having like a hairstylist back to back, but the stories are mad different. I love it. Okay.
Yeah, so I would do that with the washable markers. And I don't know where I got that idea from, but it just naturally came to me almost like I was a natural because I would draw the eyebrows and I used the tip of my thumb on the nail to shape the eyebrow because it would erase it off. Yeah, so I could make it look mad, happy, sad. Yeah. Whatever I wanted, but I just wipe it off and then I would put red lipstick on it or brown lip liner or something. And I was very creative with my Barbies because I would get a stapler, right? Like kind of break off both sides so then it's just one little line.
Of the staple? Like
a
staple, huh?
Dig it in the nose and have a nose ring. It pokes up. So my Barbies were looking a little ratchet.
So they got some character. They got some personality.
They were swaggy.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think about that. Sometimes I crack up because I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, how did I know to do all of these things, you know? And I used to collect stuff to make their little, like, Barbie houses in the corner because I didn't have a Barbie house, so I would use tissue boxes. I would use, like, remember when you order a pizza and you get that little white table?
Yes.
I would use that for their table for the kids. That's funny.
Yo, talk about being creative. Dap me up.
Yeah, I feel like it's a natural. I kind of feel like you're born with the creativity. Yeah. It's an art, you know. So it's almost like I just developed all of this since I was little, and so by doing all of those things, I would go to family functions. You know, my aunties, uncles, back to that. They would always ask me, "Can you do my hair? Can you fix it? Can you pluck my eyebrows?" Because they saw that I had my eyebrows plucked as I was like growing up to be like 12, 13.
Yeah. You were doing it yourself.
Okay, so let me tell you that story. Yeah, so I was in the 6th grade. Okay. I wanted to touch my eyebrows so bad. And I was so scared because I heard it was painful. I grabbed a nail cutter.
Nail,
I clipped my eyebrow with a nail cutter.
You're talking about nail cutters.
Yes. Because I just wanted to do something. I just wanted to play with my eyebrows. Yeah. And I was scared of tweezing because I heard it hurts. Yeah. So I got a nail cutter and I effed up my eyebrows.
Oh,
no! So I went to school and I remember my one friend was like, "Did you try plucking your eyebrows?" And I was like,
How did it look?
And at the time, there wasn't no eyebrow filling, none of that. You know, we didn't have none of that, so I kind of just had to thug it out and just go on with my day with, like, chopped up eyebrows from a nail cutter.
Yo.
Yeah. So.
That is the best.
Kind of funny, right?
It's good.
So then I discovered how to actually do eyebrows, and I just went for it.
Did that inspire you, that moment? Like, be like, okay, like...
You know what made me want to just go for it? And someone told me to put ointment on your eyebrow before you pluck it, and it won't hurt.
Oh.
And I tried it.
Put away the fear of the pain.
I think it worked. So I started shaving my eyebrows, and I was pulling up to the family functions, and my aunties and uncles were like, "Can you do my eyebrows? Can you do my hair?" I
see you just walking in when, like, it's, like, sparkling, like... You know what I'm saying? Like, you see like that anime style, like you walk in here like just fucking glowing. So they saw it and they were like, "Yo, I love what you got going on."
Yeah, so they're like, ever since I was little, they would always tell me, I would always hear, "You should do hair when you grow up. You should have a salon when you grow up." I've been hearing this since I was because they always saw that okay, I'm starting to fix my myself, starting to look like glamorous out here, knowing how to do my makeup.
It's always been
I'm
it's
wearing
in you.
eyelashes,
Yeah.
very girly.
Sure.
Out of all my
Love that,
sisters,
love that.
I am the girliest one. So, yeah.
So you got 4, right?
3
3.
older sisters.
And
I'm the
4
youngest.
total, got it. Okay.
Yes. So, I feel like, I do feel like doing hair is my purpose.
Yeah. It's amazing that you got the support from your family at such a young age.
Yes.
How, like,
It's almost like it was brainwashed me.
right.
That I actually just like naturally went for it and was like, you know what, guys, you're right. You know.
Look at that. Like, look at the power of how someone speaks to somebody else and like what that could create in somebody.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy is that when I do see certain things in like young people, you know, I like kind of see them into like what they're doing and hype them up about it.
Same.
So like it kind of sticks to them
Same.
because it's like it's almost like you're gifted to see what people have in them and like the potential. And that's what I do in my business too. Like I talk to my barbers and I try to like feed information of like, you know, say, so there's a barber that started there that in the beginning was, he reached out to me and told me like he's scared, you know, like he's nervous for this, all of the things. And we had a conversation outside and I was just, you know, trying to feed that inspiration, motivation inside of him. And, you know, today, like I told him, like, don't give up. Like I shared my story with him, put your time in, be patient, you know.
So you took them outside.
Yeah, we literally had a conversation. And, you know, it's almost like I was transferring something, like a vibration, like a frequency of like, it was so powerful what I was saying that I believed in him that you are going to be okay. And I told him that, like, just don't give up, be patient. And that's something I tell a lot of people too, if they feel like discouraged or whatever, because, you know, it takes time, you know, and just keep believing and just not giving up. Consistency is key. And just by watching him grow there.
At your shop.
Yes. At the shop, it makes me so proud.
Oh my God.
Because it's like he's doing so good. And honestly, I could say he was probably one of my best barbers in there. And I was sad to see him leave. Yeah. Shout out to Ryan.
I love that. I love that you name dropped. That was funny. On the edge of my seat, I was like, "What the fuck is it? Please stop. Please." Oh,
shout out to Ryan.
Oh man,
we see you.
I love that. We see you
doing what you do. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
See what you did for homeboy. Yeah. You know, yeah. The power of speech, the power of being able to instill something in somebody, like even like it being so. Like I love that you had it from like the beginning. You know
yeah.
what I mean? From the get, from like when you were a child, they were like, "Yo, you got bars.
Yeah.
You should own your own barbershop or salon, right?"
Yeah.
I was just in Peru for the holidays, and first of all, I didn't know my family was so big into karaoke. But my grandma knows that once after she came to visit, and she knows that I love Dean Martin. And so I was playing Dean Martin in my car while I was driving around, and I was singing to it. She was like, "Sebas, you have such a nice voice."
Discovery. Hey, vocals.
I was like, "Stop it."
Okay.
So I was like feeling myself, right?
Yeah.
So we were out there at the beach house. We decided to do karaoke, and they were singing all kinds of songs. And honestly, my cousin is the singer. He's a musician. I'm gonna have him on the show too. He's amazing. He's working for this music company out in Florida right now. But she was like, "Sebas, I want to hear you do Dean Martin," and I was like, "All right." I was like, you know, I'm not a singer, but like, I'll give it a shot. Like, I'll try anything.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there and I'm hitting the notes, and
really,
bro, like just the fact that they were like, "Oh wow!" Like, oh, I would hit it and just like cheer me on and be like, "Sebas, like this might be like a discovery. Like you might be losing out on money if you don't pursue this."
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you guys are too kind, like honestly. But just that alone, like just those words of confirmation, that affirmation was
the hype.
The hype was enough for me to be like, shit, I might explore this avenue.
Okay, so are you gonna sing that note that you hit right quick?
No.
Oh,
hell no.
That would have been good for this scene.
No,
How'd it go?
not right now, but
what song was it?
It was Mambo Italiano by Dean Martin. And then Sway.
So you have vocals.
That's what they were saying.
You shy?
No, I'm not shy.
Okay.
But like, I'd have to like sing along. Like, there's no way. Don't get no jittery. Stop. Don't do that to me. But it's definitely so like as I'm mentioning, like, you know, my auntie was like, hey, I'm gonna put you in contact with my vocalist coach.
Wow.
Say less. Like again, like I'm not. I never render to challenges. I'm like, yo, bring it on. And if it's something that could give me a new skill set, like I'm all for it. All that to say, like, yes, like the power of motivation, positive reinforcement is so bewilderingly beneficial to like people in their growth. Like,
Yes.
I love to hear it.
Yes.
So, you got the opportunity to hear all this at a young age, and you started doing it with your family. Amazing.
Yeah.
So, did somebody give you the opportunity to then go into a salon? Like, did somebody say, hey,
No. Okay, so I'm gonna put this out there
Good.
for those of you that don't know, but I'm very open now just because where I'm at today is what matters, and it's not about anything in the past, you know. But I am a high school dropout, I could say. Yeah, very open about that because honestly, it doesn't matter. But I'm not encouraging people to just drop out of school,
Word.
you know. But there's always a way. There's always a way, you know. Doesn't matter, and it's never too late to start or to finish, you know. So I had to go to a continuation school to finish my credits. I was honestly just going to give up and be like, forget it, you know. And I feel like growing up, having my sisters and my cousins around me, they were all like older than me. And so they would always tell me that, like, what are you doing? Like,
It sounded so gross.
you know,
Like,
what
the
are you
ass that
doing?
they
Like, what are you going to do with yourself? And you're going to be a bum in the street. And you're lazy. You need to do your work.
The prettiest bum.
All of the things. All things. And so they would always make me feel like I'm just not doing much with myself, you know. I just didn't have no interest in high school, nothing like that, you know. So even though they would say all those things about me and make me feel like, okay, I'm going to be a bum in the street because, you know, I'm not doing nothing, I always felt like I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know, I've always naturally felt like I'm going to be all right, you know. So the school, the continuation school, just kept reaching out. They kept reaching out saying, oh, you need to finish your credits. You know, after me deciding that I'm done with school, like I'm not going. But my mom was telling me, you need to go, you need to finish. So I ended up there for like 2 years and
How old were you?
ended up getting my credits. I was like 17 years old.
So you finally were like, all right, bet. Let's
Yeah.
go get this done.
Yeah, because I heard for beauty school, you need a diploma.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, that's motivation enough.
Yeah, so I was like, say less. So went to the continuation school. It's a little bit smaller. And I realized that smaller schools work for me because I was more focused.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's more intimate setting. There's not too many kids in the classroom. And sometimes I need that extra, like, attention to be able to do my work, you know, extra help. And so at that school, I was nominated best student. I had a high grade point average there. And this is something that I was just like, wow, like it takes an intimate school to like make me feel like I belong. Because
Yeah, that's so amazing.
in big schools, like, you know, those big schools, I went to Jesse Bethel High School. I felt like it was so big, so many students, like it was just overwhelming for me. And I was like not motivated at all, you know, and so I couldn't focus. I never did my homework, literally got all Fs, barely at school. And so to be at a continuation school, it helped me push through. So I got my diploma. And that last year that I was at the continuation school, I was like a teacher's aide, so I was like a TA,
Yeah.
and then I was working in the office. So it kind of felt like, yeah, to get credit.
Yeah, nice.
I was friends with everybody. Everybody knew me. Oh, and so I started braiding people up.
There it is.
You know, braiding people, be like, can you braid me after school? And I would charge them like $60. You know, my sister had friends. My sister had friends that was like, oh, can your sister braid me up and all of the things. And I used to do like cornrows with zigzags and, you know, but it would take me hours and my hands would start to hurt.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't really know if I like braiding, you know? So after that, I graduated and I took myself to this beauty college in Fairfield. It was called Duluth Cosmetology.
Oh, that's up there.
Yes.
Compared to where you were living at
I was living in Vallejo.
Oh, you were living in Vallejo?
Yeah, I was living in Vallejo at the time. And I was driving up to Fairfield to go to beauty school. And so I was just happy that I had my diploma to show for it so they could accept me. Yeah. And they did.
Like, bah! Look at this shit.
Yes. And so they said it's going to take 10 months to finish if you go full time. But I kept switching up my time. Part time. It takes 10 months to finish 1,600 hours if you're going full time.
Okay.
So I was actually working at Target. I'm 19 years old, remind you.
Yeah.
So I'm working at Target and I'm going to beauty school. After school, I was going to Target to go to work. Yeah. I was a cashier. I was working at guest service.
Oh, so you were working, you would go to school in the morning and then you would go work at Target.
Target from 3 to 10 p.m.
Yeah. And you did the same thing over, you did the same thing again?
4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Yes. But, you know, when you're young, you have all that energy.
You got to drive, yeah.
Yes, you do. Because it's like, what else you got to do? You don't got no bills to pay anyway. So
not to say,
like, let's just work and stack our money up.
Yeah,
but you know what? That wasn't my first job. My first job was at Applebee's. I was 18 years old.
Okay.
And so I was at Applebee's, then Target, was going to school. And then I finished in 1 year. 1 year.
Nice.
So it's crazy because...
That's impressive.
Back to, okay, so...
You were doing it full time, right? I mean,
I was
as much as you could, right?
Yes.
You said the 10-month program took you a
yes.
year, yeah.
Yes.
Impressive. With 2 jobs, or the jobs that
you're
trying to do.
You know, beauty school is like a job because you're still working on people.
Right.
You know, people
like
go in there. Yeah, it's like students working. Yeah. And, you know, they charge you like $8 per haircut, like $10
people go there like just to get
like that. It's really cheap, but you get what you get, you know. It's a lot of older women that go in there and stuff like that, but they would tip you like $1. So I always had lunch money.
Nice. That's always nice. It's a little plus. Right?
Yeah.
You gotta count those little W's.
So, you know, you have to wait for your date to pass the state board, right? I've never passed a test in my life. Never. Not even school, nothing. Failed every time. My driver's license, failed it. Had to take it over.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many times?
Twice.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've never passed a test in my life. But when I was in beauty school, I studied these index cards. I would take them to family functions, tell my cousin, like, here, test me.
Yeah, this is how we gonna have fun. Like,
test me. Because I wanted to make sure I got all of the answers right. Because it's an 8-hour test for the state board. It's an 8-hour test.
You must have did for 8 hours?
5
That's
hours.
a shift.
Yeah, 5 hours practical and 3 hours for the written test.
What's practical mean?
So you go in there and there's a sheet of like what you have to show them. And it's all random. It could be a roller set, a razor cut, how to apply color, do a facial.
Like literally
you have to do it correctly.
Yeah,
you have to do it the same exact way. And my mom was my model. You had at that time you had to bring a human model.
Wait, when you say human model, like now it's different. Like,
now they don't even have practical. I heard it went from like a real model to a doll head to no model. So now it's just straight written test now. They changed it a lot.
Is that easier?
Yeah.
Is that like less like qualified individuals?
I have no idea. But I like how they did it for me at the time.
Because it made you like dope at what you do.
Yeah,
right?
so
prove that.
Yeah, so after the test, they call you up to the window after you wait a while. And so they call me up. They're only literally calling you up to tell you if you pass or fail.
Nothing else.
Nothing.
Yeah. So what are you doing? Where are you sitting? Like what is? So like you take the test and then what?
It looks like a doctor's office.
Okay. And y'all all of y'all are sitting there.
Yeah, sitting there, and you walk up to the window. Yeah. And they tell you.
Walk up to the window like you're getting an order.
Like you're making an appointment. Yes. And so you hear some people's results, and some of them they just fail. They walk away crying. And I was ready to be one of those people. You know. So they call my name, Jennalyn Robles. Walk up to the window, I'm looking at my mom like, God, my heart's pounding. You know. So I walk up there, and she gives me a paper. You pass. You know what I say? Are you sure?
No.
Sure.
Yeah. Check this shit again. Hold on.
Yeah, I was like, is that my name on there? I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. The first thing that I ever passed in my life was because it's like something I really, really wanted. You know? Yeah. Any other test I really care for.
Right. The thing that you love most, you passed on the first go.
Yes.
Come on now.
And I was like, wow. I was the happiest ever. Like, I couldn't even believe it. Speechless. Didn't even know how to act, you know? So that's when my journey began. Yeah. That's when my journey began. Put that one on there.
Bro, you might be the funniest guest. You might be only the second guest, but you're pretty funny. Like, I love your sense of humor. Oh my god. Oh, you about to do a fourth take just in case. She was about to do a fourth take just in case. And that's how my career began. I love it.
So yeah, that's how my journey started. And so I started at a salon at Fairfield Mall.
Yeah.
You know where that is?
Oh, no way.
Okay, so I worked at
Did they put you there? Did they place you there?
No, so there was a girl that I went to beauty school with who told me about this salon inside the mall. It was called Mia and Max.
Mia and Max?
Yeah, it's the same. I guess it's the same corporate as Regis, you know, but Regis is more for like sophisticated people. Mia and Max is more for the young and hip crowd. So it was upstairs next to Build-A-Bear. And so...
You got it.
Got that? Okay. Okay. So, I started there, right? And
Mia and Max's.
At Mia and Max.
Okay. Which is for the trendy young.
Yeah, but it was like hourly pay. Just somewhere to get started, right? So I actually got fired from that place after being there for like almost a year.
What?
You know why I got fired? They changed management. And the girl said, I'm not doing enough hair. So I have to let you go. Got terminated. Okay, that's fine. The way I felt when she let me go, I didn't feel rejected. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel like upset. I felt like that's okay. I'm ready for the next journey. Because I felt like there's so much more opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And so
much more out there than working in this job, this hourly job for somebody else. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you've always been told, have your own salon. Have your own salon.
Yes. So it was fine to like be let go in that way. And so I did learn a lot being there. I learned how to do highlights because the girls there, like, they were nice enough to show me how highlights are done. You know, I was just learning. And when you're in beauty school, they only teach you the basics to pass the test. And when you get all the experience outside, that's when you learn how to do all the extra techniques. You go to hair shows, you go take classes. That's how you become dope.
Is it weird that it's making my mouth salivate? Like, I love that. I love hearing that that's where you get like the internal skills.
Yes.
Like the skills that
you honestly don't get it at school.
The tricks of the trade.
Yes.
Right.
You can learn on your own.
Your mastery.
Yeah. So, I learned that from there. I remember learning how to do highlights from that place. And so I was just, you know, hanging out for a while, and my cousin told me that her friend has an uncle who owns a barbershop. And there's a chair.
Your friend from there?
My cousin's friend.
Your cousin's
told
friend
me that their uncle owns a barbershop.
Okay.
So, it's crazy because I went in there and it was literally a barbershop.
Literally just boys doing their thing.
Yeah, and they were like OG and like Filipino uncles, you know, running it.
Yep.
And so they were nice enough to be like, oh, okay, charge a commission, whoever is here, you do. So
To cut men's hair, to do like buzz cuts and fades. And
no, my women that I have to develop my own clientele.
Okay, so they gave you a chair to do.
But I literally had one friend come in.
Okay.
The 6 months I was there, one client, maybe two.
What?
But the whole time I'm just watching the guys. I'm watching the guys how to cut men's hair. And so there was a barber there who actually told me, hey, you should go work at Great Clips. Right? Because I'm fresh in the game.
Sure.
Like, I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
So, you know, he told me, hey, let me go take you to go get a application at Great Clips, which was literally down the street. Because this barbershop was in American Canyon.
Yeah.
And so Great Clips was over there at the new Walmart in American Canyon, and it was a new plaza, you know. So he took me there one time on a lunch break to go get an application. Ended up getting hired right away. They asked me, I was living at home at my parents' house. So when I had an interview at Great Clips, they were like, are you able to go to the 5 different locations, which was Walnut Creek, Orinda, Pinole, and there was one somewhere far away. I forgot where, but like I only went to like 4.
They asked you to be a traveling.
Yeah, and I was like, yes, because I was living at home. So I was like, okay, and I was very open,
Wow.
you know. So I actually just, you know, it's crazy. When I started working there, I barely knew how to do men's cuts.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's this thing where you got to fake it to make it.
Oh, baby.
And that's pretty much what I did. And, you know, at Great Clips, people get simple haircuts there. Like businessmen, they want like a 3 on the side, trim the top, trim cut.
Sure.
All right, say less.
Yeah.
And then so it looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
And then they would come in with these $6.99 coupons.
No.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah.
So they would come in with these coupons, and you know I was getting paid hourly. I would get tips. So
Straight in your pocket?
yes.
Or was it like a cumulative, what's the word I'm looking for? Was it like a communal tip jar that people would then like this?
No, it's just
straight
for
to your
me.
pocket?
Yeah, just for me. And so that was another part of my journey, working at Great Clips, and then I was working at the Walnut Creek. Then they had me work at Orinda, and I noticed that I was at the Orinda location a lot. And the guy managing there was like, "Do you want to manage this one?" And I said, "Okay." I was at Great Clips for 1 year.
When they asked you to be a manager?
No, all throughout. It's just 1 year. So all that happened fast.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, because I always wanted to shop anyway.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Of course, my bitch. Like, it's the first thing you gotta be like this. I'm running this show.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was
Would you say that's the first time you tasted that?
Yes, 100%. And so I had to do scheduling. You know, people ask me, I'm calling in. I had to handle that. Call somebody else. Can you take this shit? You know, cleaning up. But everyone there was pretty, you know, helpful.
Sure.
So we all cleaned up together. And so it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
it was. It's a corporate.
Sure.
You know, it's not something I
Uh-huh.
own. But managing it was definitely an experience.
Sure.
And so after that, I was working at Great Clips, became a manager. I got a phone call from a family friend who was like, hey, my cousin is opening up a shop in Benicia. He's looking for a stylist. And I was like, okay.
Who is this? A guardian angel of yours? You get calls all the time. So I got a cousin, I got this, I got that. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, she's actually a family friend. Our parents are best friends since we were little. So it's almost like cousin, like family.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
you know how you call them, like family cousins.
Yeah,
So
totally.
she called me. I thought she was reaching out because she wanted her hair done, but she was actually calling me to let me know that hey, my cousin got a chair.
Did she know that She knew what you were doing.
She knows I do hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knew I did hair. And so I was like, all right. She gave me her cousin's number and was like, okay, I called. It was like, hey, so-and-so gave me your number. I heard you have a chair available. You just opened the shop. And he was very like, hey, yeah, like, when can you come in so I could meet you? I was like, I mean, I could get there tomorrow. He was like, all right. So I get there. I meet him and his wife. He literally just opened the shop. It was like probably a few weeks old. And there was like 4 chairs in there, one for him.
This is a Benicia.
Yeah, this is in Benicia on First Street. They interviewed me.
Uh-huh.
And so
How was that?
The interview?
Were you comfortable, casual?
Oh yeah, they loved me. They loved like my personality. My hair was colorful. I was ready. I had like burgundy with purple and like magenta on one side.
Oh shit! So you was like showing out a little bit.
I had like little
you're
feathers. I used to wear these little feathers on my hair. You know, so I was looking the part.
Hell yeah.
And it's crazy because it was a exclusive Bumble salon. It's a product, and they only did a Veda product for the color line.
What's Bumble?
Bumble and Bumble is a hairline from New York.
Okay.
And they have a university out there. Yeah.
They exclusively have those.
Yes. Your salon has to be chosen. Like, yeah, like not anybody could
have
sell
this
Bumble.
product.
Yes.
Right, these products.
Yes. So it looked like a salon where I felt like, wow, this is more of like what I want.
Let's go.
You know?
Yeah.
I ended up there for 8 years.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was there. Like, I've learned so much there. Like, the owner who was starting up gave me a lot of clients, and I feel like I really like just built there. Like, I've grown there. I've learned so much there. He gave me so many opportunities. I did like a BB fashion show.
What's a BB
at Yoshi's. You know the BB.
Oh.
The BB.
Yeah, it's a product, right? It's a line.
The line.
Yeah. You did a show at Yoshi's?
I did the girls walking on the runway for their spring collection. I did all of their hairs. I did an updo. And it's crazy because it's like, when he told me this, I was like, okay, I'm down. Like, let's do it. I was always open for anything.
Oh, you must have been excited.
Yeah, because he would always like send me to classes just to learn things. And it would always be at like nice salons.
That's awesome.
Like high-end salons. Yeah. And, you know, he really like gave me a lot of attention, almost like he was building me up.
That's exactly.
You know, because he saw the potential in me.
Yeah.
You know, and with this BB fashion show, I just remember going in there and seeing all the models in the backstage. And so they were like, oh, are you the girl that came from A Lago Salon? Like, can you fix my hair? There was another salon that was there before me, and the girls didn't like their hair.
Shut the fuck
and
up.
I fixed one girl's hair, and I just winged it because the coordinator was like, just have everybody's hair up. I had all these bobby pins with me. And
all the bobby pins.
Yeah, I had all the bobby pins, and I was just like, my mind was just going, so I was just doing everybody.
You weren't even thinking, you were like, let's just do it. No pun intended.
It was crazy because, like, everybody's hair was different, but it was fun, you know?
Shut up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yes, like,
my
my creative mind yeah, it was going.
Like, yeah.
And, yeah, so one girl got her hair done, was like, the other girl pops up. I like hers. Can you fix this? This other girl's like, can you fix this? And I was just like, yeah. And then one girl was like, can you do my makeup? And I was like, of course. You know, and then
it sounds like also like you're getting customers just like that.
Yeah.
Like, people like, right?
Yes. And so it's crazy because these girls were so beautiful. Like, they look like runway models. And I was just like, wow, I'm really just doing this. Like, it's nothing.
Yes,
you know?
I love it.
And it was so natural for me. So, like, when the show was starting, it was like a legit fashion show. When the show was starting, I remember just being up on the, what is that called?
Balcony?
The balcony.
Yeah.
And the show starts, and all the girls, there was like 20 girls.
You got to see your work.
Yes.
Right?
And I was just like, this is just so honoring to just see that. Yeah, so that happened.
So rewarding, right?
Yes, very rewarding. And it's such a good feeling. And then we would go to like a lot of hair shows and stuff like that. And I feel like it's very inspiring and motivating when you go to other salons and take classes and just meet other people. Like there would be some hairstylists from out of town that would come into the shop and, you know, do a quick demo, like a haircut or highlight, you know.
So they have like guests coming.
Yeah, it was a very active like place to be in. That kind of helped me stay motivated throughout all the full 8 years. Like
There wasn't like a dull moment. It sounds like it was either growth or you were just like busy crushing it.
I was busy. It was growth. I felt clientele, and actually, like I still have those clients till this day, and it's been about like 15 years.
Jesus.
They still come to me. I see their kids. They were young. Now they're like in college.
Stop.
And having boyfriends, relationships, getting proposed to, you know.
And you're part of that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, like salon auntie. You know? Like I watch these people grow and then I see my clients getting older, looking different. Some still look good.
Yeah.
You know, depends how you take care of yourself. Yeah.
You're just doing that whole life cycle.
Yes. Yes. So, after that, I do feel like it has been a journey. I started off as a commissioner at this salon in Benicia, 50-50.
Oh, in terms of owning?
That's how I was getting paid, 50-50.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
when I was working there in Benicia. And so, you know, coming from Applebee's, coming from Target, those hourly paid salon that I worked at, you see your paycheck, it's like $400, $500,
Right.
maybe $6 the most. When I started working at this salon, like the first paycheck, and I knew it was a busy week, busy 2 weeks. He would pay me every 2 weeks. My first time seeing a coma, you know?
I love that.
And I'm just like,
How was that?
wow. Wow. I was like,
I made it.
it's amazing
Yeah.
to see a coma on your paycheck.
Doing what you love to do.
Yes.
And not-
But I feel like I earned that because I was
You did.
so busy.
Right.
I was very busy. I feel like it's very important, you know, like when you're a stylist, it's not just doing hair. It's who you are as a person, how you make the people feel, communicating with your client, building a relationship. And I feel like I carry that with me through this whole journey till this day, building a relationship with my clients. You know, they see me more than just doing their hair. And it's crazy because some of them will come in and be like, I don't even know what I need. I just want to be here. I have clients that are like, can I just hang out here? I don't even want to go home. And I'm always like,
I'm just trying to think of something for you.
You know,
you want to come to my house room? Get my soap panels, please. Go ahead, get out.
So I'm just like, you're welcome anytime. If you want to hang out, just hang out, you know? I'm very, like, just open for that. Yeah.
I've always felt very welcome at your salon.
Thank you.
I could even like just put my laptop out and wait for my.
Which you do.
Which I very much make myself comfortable.
Which you really do.
I really do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's such a beautiful vibe that you've been able to like garner there.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I think also too, it's like if you have like the right people in one building, the person walking in will naturally sense, you know, it could be a hole in the wall, but everybody just has this uplifted, bright spirit, welcoming, inviting energy. You could be in a trash can and you have people working in there and that person will feel so good walking in there, you know?
Yeah. You've done a great job of building your team and putting your team together because everybody in there is such a great soul.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So you were at this location in Benicia for 8 years.
Yeah.
What,
Okay.
What finally got you to 1581?
So, after being at this salon in Benicia, actually during the time while I was there, I remember him asking me, "Are you ready to pay booth rent?" I was scared for my life. you know, like, I'm young. I'm like,
Yeah.
how old was I? 20,
Yeah.
24 years old,
Right,
maybe
right,
at the
right,
time. And
right.
he's like, I'm so used to commission, 50-50.
Yeah.
And so he's like, are you ready to pay booth rent?
That's like, yo,
And
you growing up. Like,
I'm like, damn, for real?
overnight.
All right.
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, how much?
Bet.
He goes, $1,000. And I'm like, I'm not ready.
Mark.
I'm not ready. You know, I was
You
trying
said, bet, yeah. You said, oh, hold on.
Wait, so I had to negotiate, and I was like, can we do 800?
Yeah.
And he said, all right. I said, okay, 800. 800 a month.
People that work with you are a blessing.
So then I'm like, okay, 800. All right. So I remember driving in my car, driving home. I forgot where I was coming from. But I was like, damn, I'm about to pay 800. That's a lot.
This is on the way home.
Yeah,
the
800 is a
communication
lot
there,
at
you're
that
like,
time.
That's a chunk. Yeah.
When you're
Today,
young,
yeah.
800?
Especially
Yes.
in your early 20s.
Nowadays, that sounds like nothing. I'll
Like,
pay
yo, I'll take
800
that.
any day.
Keep
Yes.
that up.
So that happened. Then I started noticing through time, like, wow, best decision ever. To rent.
Really?
Yes, to rent.
I'm listening.
You make more money.
Wes?
You almost feel like your mind is just open to other ideas. What
Yeah.
else can I do? What else can
Like
I offer?
when you're putting a quarter down there, you're like,
You know?
yo, all right, how can I make more bread?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because now you're renting a chair. You know,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not,
that's
I'm
you.
not like
right.
commissioned.
Right,
I'm
right,
kind
right,
of on
right.
my own.
Yeah, that's
but
your
still
business. your
but
name.
still being respectful in the way of like I'm working under someone.
Yeah.
I still want to be able to like work as a team.
You're under that
You
umbrella,
know?
but you still got, hey, I'm a CEO of what I'm offering.
Exactly.
My
In my
service.
own little corner. But don't forget everybody else that's around you.
Yeah.
We're still a team.
Yeah.
And that I feel like is still important, you know, working as a team when you're working in a place, you're in an environment with others, you know, when you're an independent contractor, sometimes people do get a little sidetracked and feel like, you know, they're on their own.
Mm-hmm.
That's everybody else in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
that's the wrong mentality,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Seems unhealthy.
So I've never had that mentality. I've always had that teamwork mentality, even though I'm out here paying 800 rent, booth rent, you know? So you really go a long way when you got your mind right and you're doing like things that are supposed to be kind of common sense of like how to be professional.
You're thinking you got, $800. And you're like, how long? And what did you think? Like, maybe how long do I want to do this for? Like, until like I can start saying, hey, you owe me $800 for this booth. Like, did that thought come into your mind? Like, I want to be the one to rent out space.
You know, no, I just always felt like, you know what, like, I feel like, because you know what happened? The owner ended up leaving the shop.
Oh.
The owner ended up leaving the shop in Benicia. And I remember asking him during those 8 years, maybe like 5 years in, I was like, I want to own this someday. If ever you want to give it up, can you give it to me?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I didn't think he took me seriously. You know, so he was just like, okay, you know. But then he ended up leaving the shop. And this lady that was working there ended up taking it over.
Okay.
So I remember asking him, like, hey, I told you I wanted to own the
Wow.
shop. Like, why couldn't you just give me a heads
Bet you done
up?
good Alex.
Like, you know, in advance, a few months in advance, like, you know. So, you know, it happened the way it did. It's fine. So she took over, and I was probably there for an extra year after she took it over. And so I felt like, you know what, my calling of like feeling like I want to open something felt so far. You know, it felt so far, impossible.
Yeah.
I remember saying like 3 years ago, I'm gonna open like 3 years from then. Like I remember saying, 3 years from now, I'm gonna have a shop. I just said it just to say it. You know?
Was this when Alex left?
No, this was when I was still in there.
When you were still in there?
Yeah, this was when I was still in
So,
there.
but you said that you were there for a year with a new woman.
Yeah, so maybe like that last year was the 8th year.
Okay. And that's when
Yeah.
that thought came?
Well, I've always had this mentality of like, I'm gonna open a shop. I just said 3
Sure.
years.
So you said it?
I said.
Oh, so you said a
whenever
3-year
that-
time span.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
I bet. Understood.
Yeah, so I was
Understood.
like, in 3 years, I'm gonna open a shop.
Bet.
I said
I
that.
love that shit.
But I felt like it was so far.
Yeah.
I felt like it was impossible.
But you're like, bucket, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna say
I would just say it, just put it out there. It literally happened. And it's crazy because it's like you put stuff out there, you really put stuff out there, like it will happen, you know? Some way, somehow. And it did.
Yes.
And till this day, I still get tripped out about that. I'm like,
Y'all listening? Y'all listening? It's possible.
be careful what you say, okay?
Yeah. It's powerful, it's strong.
It is very powerful.
So the 3 years passed, and you're like,
Yeah,
we're looking at it now.
Yeah, so then what happened was that lady took over, and so I'm starting to feel like, you know what, I want to open something. So I remember walking down the street, and there was this antique shop that was closing the day of, which I ended up buying this big, giant antique mirror.
That antique shop that you were walking by was closing that day.
It looked like it has potential to be a salon.
You walked in that bitch, and you were like...
I talked to the owner.
Yeah.
I said, who is the owner of this place? Can I speak to him? I was like, how much is everything? Like, I was just out there just being nosy. You're leaving anyway. What does this really look like?
Yeah,
you know, like just trying to see if like it's doable, you know? And so they gave me the number. They, you know, I actually got the information that I was asking for.
Yeah, you got everything.
I called all of the things, and so I felt like that was just a stepping stone to like feeling like, oh, what I'm really trying to do is I'm gonna make it happen, you know. So it's crazy because after that, days go on, and there's this barber that I was running into at hair shows. Ran into him like twice.
Okay.
And I felt like there was a reason to that.
Sure.
And he actually was interested in hearing my journey of like, you know, being a hairstylist and like what I want to do and if I'm interested in opening. Yeah. And it's crazy because he owned a barbershop.
This is the guy I think I know. Tattoos all over?
Yes.
Yes. I
Yes.
met him. Great guy.
So I met him, and so he introduced me to my silent partner. And so...
Does that mean, like, in the background, supporting financially?
Yes, silent partner. Kind of like investor,
Sure,
kind of.
right.
So he introduced me to him, and he happens to be a family member of my sister's husband. So it kind of just naturally became like this family.
Who support God? The universe has got you.
Yeah,
They always got
it's
you.
so crazy. So it's like, so I'm just like, wow, like everything's just happening, you know? And so they're like, oh, I told this barber guy, like, yeah, I want to open something, you know? And so my vision was I was just going to open a little salon with 2-3 chairs. I got something bigger and greater than that.
It's never what you expect. It's always
Bigger and greater.
bigger and greater.
Yeah.
It's always.
Yes. So then we collabed, and now it's a 10-chair salon with other things going on in there, you know? So it was actually better than what I expected it to
When you described just now the 10-chair salon, you talk about 1581.
Yes, 1581.
But if I'm not mistaken, there was a point where you were a co-owner, and then there was, I remember the day because you talked to me and you were talking about being nervous and how like different this was, and then you became a sole owner. No? Are you a sole proprietor or am I tripping?
No, so I had, he's no longer my business partner anymore. It was just me and my silent partner.
Got it.
Yeah, so we opened that together. But
1581.
yes.
Okay, yes. But that's
We-
been silent. That's like you're doing everything. Like,
Yeah,
you're doing the
pretty
work.
much. I'm the one that's like present.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
he was just like making sure bills are paid on time, coming in, checking in, collect booth rent,
Yep.
make sure the papers are right.
Right,
You know,
right, gotcha.
but I was the one that was like physically
This is
there.
you. This is you.
Yes.
You, yeah.
Yes, it's a really big shop.
Hell yeah.
You know, 10 chairs in there. You need help.
Hell yeah.
So having him there I was so thankful to starting up with a silent partner helps
Hell yeah.
a lot.
Hell yeah.
And so now being, you know, the only owner, you know, it's a lot.
Yeah, I remember the day. I really do. I remember chatting with
It's a lot. I remember the day of just re-signing that lease on my own.
I remember.
You know?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, you really have to be a strong person to run something so big on your own.
Can I ask? I know in that time period, it's nerve wracking. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As you're stating, and what would you say was for you the biggest shock or the biggest hump to get over to finally feel comfortable in your role, and how long did that take?
I think it's just more of like, honestly, for me, like owning a shop is not easy.
Right.
I feel like it's always gonna have a struggle. You live with anxiety every day, you know, so it's just more about, like, for me personally, taking it day by day and just believing and always telling yourself, like, I got this, figure it out. Something breaks, fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, so you kind of just take it day by day.
Shout out to No
Like,
Pressure.
yeah, recently I had a whole situation of, like, you know, my washer breaks.
Right.
You know, it takes a while to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, had to order that.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, I had to get, like, the right, like, plug for that.
Right.
Had to hire an electrician.
Which wasn't expected, right?
You know, I ended up ordering a gas when it was electric.
Right.
Had to send it back.
Right.
Come right back.
Right.
You know, and it's like all of the things that I have to take care of. You know, get my lights fixed. Barbers want better lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The broomstick breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
I just breathe. Stuff like that happens. Just breathe. Take it day by day. So I think that's more of like just taking it day by day, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Because honestly, you don't really know what's going to happen. Just be ready, because people could leave you at any time. Someone could walk in and not like their hair. Someone could complain. Someone's having a bad day. There's so many things that, like, could happen, you know? So it's just more of like, yeah, taking it day by day, pretty much.
I've seen how you know, you've resolved situations and the conversations that you've had with some of your barbers, and like the level of patience that you have is impressive. You have resilience.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Did you build that over time? Is there something or is it just through the day-to-day process? Like, because I see you as a really patient person.
You know what's crazy? I feel like being in this industry, I've developed this personality. You do have to be patient. You get picky people. You run into so many different kinds of, like, personalities, like your clients, you know? So many different types of personalities, all ages. People going through so many different things in life.
Themselves,
You
right?
you adapt. And I feel like just with that right mentality from the beginning, just like being present for each client kind of helps you develop the person that you are today and how you handle things, you know? So just by like somebody doesn't like their hair, you know, like I would know how to handle that situation. Being patient, hearing them out, understanding, letting them know it's going to be okay. How can I accommodate you? You know, you never want to feel like somebody's being ripped off.
Right.
Like, that's never my person. I care too much to be like, no, you're leaving here with what you want. So it's very important to me. I really love what I do. Like, I am very passionate about it. Like, I could feel it. And it's got me here today, and I'm thankful. And I feel like my journey is still going. You know, like, it's not over till it's over. And I don't think it's going to be over, you know? So I feel like this is my purpose in life. This is why I was placed here on this earth. because I do touch people by doing hair. Like just seeing, like I've had people tear up in their chair, cry, so happy. I've witnessed confidence, you know, even just, like being there for the conversation, like you're a therapist at the same time, you know, it makes me feel so good, you know, like it's just a whole different type of legacy you're living when you're, you know, one-on-one with your client. And I think it's very important to make your client feel like they're the only ones in this room right now. Make them feel special, you know. That's very important too.
I love it. Do you do something outside of being a salon owner that needs a balance? Like, what do you like to do for
Well,
fun?
actually, you know what? Last year I started working out.
Okay.
Going to the gym.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so yeah, I actually took 2 months off due to some like stomach issues and they getting.
It's been a bug going around. It's been a bug going around.
Yeah, so I actually have a gym session tomorrow.
Okay.
So honestly, it's just walking my dog, going home, cooking, and going to sleep and just repeating life, being there for my family, being present to where I choose to be present to. You know, I'm not out here just, you know, I feel like I lived life in my past of like fun.
Distractions.
Yeah, all of the things. But I now prefer to feel like I am like calm and just, you know, very choosy of what I want to do. Time is valuable, you know, so I'm not out here doing too much. So yeah, I spend a lot of time with my dog too, walking 2 to 3 times, 4 times a day.
What's your dog's name?
Milano.
Milano's a
Shout out to Milano.
Milano's a regular at the salon.
Yeah, he works there too.
Your
He
mascot.
greets people. Yeah, everyone loves him. They call it dog therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the cutest.
He is.
Absolutely cutest.
Thanks.
Absolutely. And also, I heard you like horror movies.
Yes, I like watching horror movies in the daytime.
Yeah, but to be honest, like that's what I was saying. Like morning horror movies are the best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they are. Because I don't want to be scared at night.
We don't have to worry about leaving the light.
Yeah, but I like the horror movies that are like.
Yeah. What's your genre? Zombies.
I like more of the paranormal ones.
Me too.
The realistic
the occult.
ones. I don't like when it's like just a ghost.
No.
Or I mean, like a monster.
Right.
Like Insidious. Like what is that long black thing?
That was a culty. That was a culty. That's like some like
kind of
paranormal.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
What did you watch recently? What's the horror movie you've seen most recently?
It was not a paranormal one though.
What was it?
It was just more of like this guy living in this Airbnb that this couple rented. Cameras in there. It's called Rental.
Oh shit! Was that on Netflix? Is that
Yeah.
a Netflix one? That's a good one. Yeah, that's a really good one. Because at the end, it's just like I love those movies where at the end, you're like, oh.
I like when there's like a twist to it.
Yeah. Me
Yeah.
too. Absolutely. Okay, a favorite food.
My favorite food. That's really hard to say because I have a lot. So, do you want me to just choose one?
No, yeah, you gotta hit me with like what comes to mind like as a delicious.
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chicken wings. I love garlic parmesan, mango habanero,
It sounds like you're a Wingstop
barbecue,
girl.
barbecue
Is that
from
your
the
shit?
grill.
Or you have like a favorite place? Any places you recommend here in the Bay Area?
Honestly, I really just go to like Wingstop or like
That's a
Wingstop
go-to.
or Fire
bro.
Wings. But when I go to Wingstop, I get extra well done.
Oh, you like it crispy, right?
Sometimes they don't really cook the meat. Like, you know, it's like a little too soft.
So you gotta make it a point.
I like it like really cooked. Yeah.
I love getting to know you. I love everything that you share has been amazing. Very
Thank
proud
you.
of like where
Thank
you are
you.
today. And it does seem like, you know, you're at peace with your work and your craft. And I really hope and I think that your story is gonna inspire people to seek that and look for that and not succumb to the 9 to 5. And they can see your example and say, hey, she can do it. Like there's money out there for all of us. Like we just gotta go and get it.
Yes. Yes.
What advice would you give to somebody who is thinking to be an entrepreneur?
My advice is if you feel like this is something that you really want to do, I honestly feel like you have to desire it because you really need to put your all into it. When you like put yourself in a position, you know. So my advice is what I always say is, be patient, don't give up, go for it. What do you have to lose? I always say you have one life to live, so how are you going to use it? You know? And I feel like it's also very important to, get the papers right. Contracts are very important. I just really want to put that out there too.
Oh, good. I love that. That's great advice.
Yes.
People probably go into that shit without even thinking about the paperwork in the background. Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
Yeah. But other than that, it's just more about like keeping yourself motivated to get you far and never feel comfortable because it's always going to be an ongoing thing. But it's what you make of it, and if you can make the best of it,
The journey never ends.
It never ends. It honestly never ends.
I love you, girl. Good work. I love
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
I
so
appreciate
much.
you for sure.
Of course. Was it really?
Yeah.
I feel like I've left a lot of things out.
Yeah, like what? Okay, all right. By the way, like I really hope like this pops off so hard. Like
I have a story.
Celebrities really, come to the Bay Area. If you come to the Bay Area, you can go see the Hidden Jen.
I want to add that too.
Yeah,
the Hidden Jen.
Fire, right? Look, you said that earlier. I was like, yo, you really gotta coin that.
That's so funny.
Hell
yeah, let's add that. Okay.
Okay. Has there ever been a time when you just absolutely hacked somebody's hairdo?
There was actually a time where it was a misunderstanding, which is why I feel like consultation is very
Consultation.
important.
Consultation. Not the first time we've heard that.
Yeah, consultation is very important because as much as like this is your client, you've known them for 15 years. It doesn't matter.
Even, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You need to communicate.
Great advice.
You have to communicate because, she said, give me blue hair.
There's so many different hues of blue, right? Like.
Yes. So I was like, okay.
Because your blue could look different from her blue in her head, right?
Yeah. But at the same time, she always does like bright colors.
Right.
So I felt like say less blue. All right. I did the darkest blue. Brought her to the chair. Yeah. Took that towel off. She was like, "Oh my god!"
She didn't hide a thing from you. She said, "Oh yeah."
She was like, "What is it?" And I was like, "Wait, you didn't want this blue?" And she was like, "No, I wanted like the pastel blue." So I was like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious." I was like, "Okay, say less." Yeah. I was very confident because, I'm a hidden gem, like a hidden gem. Hey. And I always have like these secret potions that I use. So my secret potion for that was an easy removal. All it is bleach and shampoo with a level 10 developer. So I just brought her back to the bowl, just shampoo that on, something I mixed myself, and it came off.
Wow.
And then I was able to give her
the blue that she wanted, the
baby blue. Yeah. Yeah. So consultation is very important. You always want to make sure, ask them what they like, what they don't like.
Yeah.
What do you not want to see?
Right.
That's important to ask too.
Yeah. Okay. Not just what you want to see.
Not just what you want to see.
Definitely don't.
What you don't.
See, yeah.
What are the don'ts? Yeah. So I know not to do that. So that was very funny, and me and her just laughed it off. So.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Do you have photos of that?
She has a whole album of all the 15 years of all the different colors that I've done on her hair.
Please tell her to send that over to us so when he makes the short form, we can show that.
Oh my god, that would be great. Yeah. Yes, let's do it. Okay. What else? Okay.
Fresh out of beauty school, what is something that you wish you knew that you didn't know at the time? Maybe something that you learned or picked up.
Honestly, I don't think my mind was really going like thinking like that. There's an answer for every question, and I would have to say that my mind was just way
I like
too.
your style, by the
My
way.
mind.
For every question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My mind was
I
just.
need a co-host.
super-
You might be my girl.
Hey, you know what? Let's talk. Let's talk.
Sebi Says, and
Okay.
Jen.
All right. There you go. So my question for that is, I felt like I was just too excited. That my mind wasn't thinking like, oh, the what ifs, or like, oh, the do's and don'ts, and oh, you know?
You think that worked to your favor? The fact that you weren't thinking so much about it yourself?
100%.
Yeah.
You know, if you just live life freely, mindlessly, just go with the flow, knowing what you do want though, what you want to attract, then I feel like things kind of just happen for you. Right?
Not worrying about like the what ifs in the sense of like, could something bad happen? Like,
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, everyone's going to think that's part of anxiety, but, you know, handle it once it happens. You know, I feel like you won't really handle things unless it presents itself to you.
right.
So whatever it is that you're presenting, whatever it is that's presented to you, it's like, then you ask yourself, how am I going to handle this?
Right.
That's kind of how I deal with things.
Don't use your imagination.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes your mind plays tricks on you, so.
Don't worry about a shot you haven't even taken yet.
Exactly. What else?
The question that I actually want to ask you that just came to mind. Okay,
Okay.
so like you're an entrepreneur. You have your own business. Are your parents also entrepreneurs?
Oh, you know what?
Talk to me.
My dad.
Yeah.
He always likes to have side hustles. He's actually a mechanical engineer. And he always had a side hustle. He had a dry cleaning business.
What?
He had a van pool business on the side.
A van pool?
Yes.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, he had 3 of those 14-seater vans that we used to park on the street in front of my parents' house, and the neighbors would complain all the time, like, you're taking up all the parking, and, you know, but we used to travel in those vans, like when we go to, like, Oregon, Las Vegas, or, you know, we would just...
So your dad was, hungry.
Yeah.
He was out there getting it.
Oh, yeah.
So that was
probably
where...
yeah, I think that's probably where I got it from, you could say. Yeah. And my mom, she just worked for Insurance Delta Dental Company in San Francisco. So.
But you seen that growing up. You seen pops like go and get it.
Oh yeah, late nights doing dry cleaning. He would leave us in the car to go pick up his dry cleaning for like an hour because he wanted to talk to his clients. Me and my sister would just be waiting in the car, waiting for him, and then he comes out with like 10 hangers of dry cleaners, and then you got to shove it in there. We were in a 1-seat.
So what, he delivered it?
Yeah, and he would bring it to this spot. And so it would always be on the corner of the window. And we only had one of those 2-door cars, back seat.
Oh, yeah, like a sedan. Yeah.
Yeah. Very small car.
Sure. Not a van. Like, it's like...
No, it's a small car.
Yeah.
2 seats in the front, and like you could fit 5 people in the back. And the dry cleaner would be... all
dry
the clothes
cleaning just
would be
hanging
right
on
there.
one side? Yeah.
And we'd all be shoved in there.
Yeah, making it
Yeah.
happen.
I was like...
Anyway, yeah.
I was like 8 years old at the time when he would do that. So, yeah.
So you watch your dad have some hustles, like also I'm sure inspires you.
With kids.
With kids.
Yeah.
Imagine that. You ain't got no kid.
No,
Is that-
I don't have kids right now.
You don't have kids? What's the future
Yeah,
like? That's what I
some-
didn't ask you, which I would love to ask you. Is like what you got, what's on your mind in terms of the future? What anything that you want to
Definitely marriage and kids and, you know, do the family thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Experience that motherhood
I
life.
think it'd be a
for sure.
great mom. Oh my god.
Aw,
you're so
thanks.
fun. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
How about for the shop? Anything that you want, like any next level stuff that you want to introduce to the shop, new services, you want to grow, maybe open up another 50, maybe one somewhere else?
Right now, I feel like, you know, I'm still trying to figure those things out. Just trying to figure out the shop and try to still get things together.
Sure.
So my mind is a little bit, you know, on pause with the expansion.
Yeah, right, sure.
You know, yeah.
How long have you had it now?
6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
Damn, girl. Damn, that flies.
6 years and
That
going.
flies. I can't believe that.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers to success. Cheers to you growing. Cheers to your continuous growth.
Thank you. I really appreciate you for having me here today. Sharing a little bit of my story, sharing little snippets here and there. You know, hopefully it could be a little inspirational, motivating for some people that's just trying to be about their hustle, you know? So, yeah.
That's why I have you guys on here. Like, I think it's so important to share that and show people that it's possible.
Yeah.
You can make a living doing what you love.
100%. Don't give up on your dreams. Anything's possible.